So let's just land for a moment, shall we? Bring your mind to the same place your body is. And check your sitting posture. If your legs are down, make sure they're in a parallel position. If they're in the regular cross-legged position, have something underneath your knees if your hips or knees are tight. So just don't be uncomfortable. And have something underneath your sit bones, something firm and slightly raised. Personally, I find it more comfortable if my sit bones are a little bit higher than the soles of my feet. And your shoulders are aligned with the hips as much as you can. And then the hands are in the meditation mudra, right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. Pelvic bowl is upright, not tipping too far back or too far forward. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and out. You can imagine someone is above you or behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. Head is slightly tipped forward, eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose if they were open. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth and relax the jaw. Let's just bring our awareness to the crown of the head. Hello, Victor. And relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the back of the eye, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. And bring your awareness to the back of your scalp, near the occipital bone. This area, just at the base of the skull, we hold a lot of tension under there. So just try and think about relaxing that area, and then relax the ears and the temples and the jaw again. Then bring your awareness to the back of the neck, your shoulders, and the shoulder blades. In between your shoulder blades, the upper thoracic area. Relax your throat and your chest and belly and arms, legs, hands, fingers and feet and toes. Let's just bring the mind back to the breath. Noticing the sensation of the air as you're breathing in and breathing out. Slightly cooler as you're breathing in, slightly warmer as you breathe out. And you'll, depending on the shape of your nose or whatever training you've had in meditation, you might notice that sensation in different parts of your nose, your nostrils, as you're breathing in and out. If there are any sounds in your environment, in your house or outside, just allow those sounds to be there. Of course, unless it's an emergency, but we're so happy to be distracted. The sound of a bird, the dog, somebody walking around in the room, our mind immediately goes there. So it's like we want to kind of anchor our mind on the breath. And we use the breath as a point of concentration because it's something we do all the time. We don't have to think about it too much. We breathe for life. And then notice your thoughts. So you may have been busy today. There may be a lot buzzing around in your head. So just allow those thoughts to settle. Try not to engage with them. And then let's bring to mind all the people of our life, the ones we love and care for, who offer us strength, who are our support, take care of us, we take care of them. These people are our friends, family. Then think of the people perhaps we don't love so much. These are often in the text they put them in the enemy group. They're people who irritate us, we irritate them. And then there's our strangers. And I'm wondering if for anyone, you don't have to say, keep it to yourself, but there may be some of those categories perhaps have changed place in the last year, the last month, or in your life. It's not unusual that a stranger will become a dear friend, but it sometimes happens that an enemy becomes a friend. So all these people we have most concern for our dear friends, but we should try, it's really good if we could try to develop equal concern. I mean, we don't have to invite our enemy into our home or our strangers, but in our mind, try not to have anger, but perhaps more generate compassion, or even try and think about the idea of, as an experiment, think about how it would be to offer equal concern for the enemy and the stranger as the same concern that we have for the ones that we love very dearly. Because they're all equal in their wish to be happy, and their wish to not suffer, and they're just the same as us with this same potential for enlightenment. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people in our life, by extension all sentient beings. Right now His Holiness is teaching alive in a public setting in Dharamsala. This must have been the first time in over 2 years. So we do this meditation for all the people there, for His Holiness's long life, for all the people of Ukraine involved in the war, and for anyone you might want to think of as well. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and the purification process it's just basically psychological, energetic. As LAMA YESHE says, we create negativity with our mind, so we can change it by creating positivity with our mind. So here we're applying the 4 opponent powers. So we do this Vajrasattva practice in the context of the 4 opponent powers. So first we come to the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, or in all of our past lives. And you can think of specific actions of the body and your speech. And then generally regret. Just regret all of the things you can't remember doing. And the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we don't want any more future suffering. We don't even want to think about having any more suffering than we already have. So, logically, we would remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as any kind of future suffering. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret the anger, our delusions basically, our attachment and jealousy and grasping and wishing to harm, all this kind of stuff. This is the cause of why we harm others. When you're jealous, you lash out. When you're angry, you lash out. We do things that probably wouldn't be sensible to do because we're all stirred up inside. So think, I'm sick of this suffering. So now what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha to forgive us. We purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head, about a couple of inches. And this is also, in order to make it a little bit more personal, you can imagine this is the mind of your teacher, your guru, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this form, this aspect, for your benefit. You can imagine he's made of radiant, blissful light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. And this lotus, although born out of mud, this is how they grow in India, is not tainted by that mud. So this is just like our enlightened potential. It's born out of our delusions, but delusions don't touch our potential. So his face is radiant and beautiful. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. He just accepts you exactly as you are, no matter what it is you've done. It does not matter. He loves you anyway. Accepts you, meets you where you're at. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So just think, in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, so the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So bring to mind someone you've harmed and just think about developing a heart, a compassionate heart towards them. And the same for the people who have harmed you. And particularly difficult, but the reason to do this is because they will be suffering in the future because of the harm they've caused you. So feel compassion towards them because of that. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. I must purify for their sake. So here we come to the power of the remedy. And this is the actual medicine, doing the practice and visualizing. So first is the purification of the body. Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully, strongly, from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into you and fills your entire body completely. And it keeps coming, pouring into you, until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Tira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Tira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Tira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Tira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Tira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to anyone with your body has been completely purified, and think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And in that section of harm that's done with the body, they include stealing. And stealing is defined by Lama Rinpoche as taking the ungiven. So that makes it very clear to us what stealing is. So the next is the purification of speech, and Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar again from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech. And this kind of negativity overflows and disappears into space, but it overflows quite forcefully. So you can imagine maybe as strongly as you would see a whale spout. Or Lama Rinpoche says the force of blowing the hat off the top of your head. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you. And I just wanted to say about lying, the reason it's a negative action is because it creates confusion. It confuses people. So that can lead to problems. So it basically creates confusion. And if you find that you've been lied to a lot yourself, it's good to consider that perhaps we may have lied in the past, and that's why we're experiencing lots of people lying to us now, not telling us the truth. So this is purified as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So now feel so happy that your speech is completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So the next is a purification of the mind. And this time, Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and pours into you through your crown and fills you completely. And this, in the same way as when you walk into a room and switch on a light, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So too, as soon as the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled by this light. So all the depression and anger and attachment and grasping and neediness and jealousy and bitterness and grudges and wishing to do harm and all the disappointments, all this is instantly dispelled, and you feel light, blissful and clear, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, we harm ourselves with our mind, are totally purified, gone, completely finished. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So the next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And we can recite, if you wish, a couple of mantras for each of the visualizations of the body, speech and mind. Or, if that's a bit complicated or busy, you can just imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest, most subtle imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe hum Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe hum Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe hum Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe hum Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe hum Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe hum Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Now feel completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is the power of resolve, and here we go again. I think start with rejoicing again at the progress you're making, no matter how tiny a step. And then think of something you would like to work on or you're continuing to work on. And we just make a determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. So if your habit is negative self-talk, sometimes we can be through several pages of negative self-talk before we realize what we're doing. So we could make a determination to ourselves that we might like to catch that negative self-talk before it turns into a thesis. So perhaps we'll say we'll refrain from it and make strong prayers to be able to notice when you're saying to yourself, oh gosh, that was dumb, that was stupid. So try not to talk to yourself like that. Because I think if someone else were to speak to us like that, we'd feel a little bit hurt. So maybe just for 5 seconds, or while we're asleep at night, I won't engage in any negative self-talk between 10 o'clock tonight and 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, or 7 o'clock, or whatever time you get up. So like that. Something doable, something easy, no great large gestures, just slowly, slowly chipping away, bit by tiny bit. So this determination to not do again is what gives us the strength and the courage to change. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind become one. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. Just merging. So next, Lama Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So place your mind in that emptiness for a little while and think, All phenomena are empty, they do not exist from their own side. You can think of perhaps things as being dependent arisings. This cause and effect. Then you can also think that perhaps maybe things don't exist exactly the way they're appearing. All this breaking down our concrete view of, our fixed view of the world. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Shera, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. I think I'm going to slip Venerable Rabina's long life prayer in here, if you don't mind. Is everyone okay with that? Okay. Mother of the victorious ones of the 3 times in 10 directions, Dharmakaya, the great bliss embraced by great compassion, my perfect Aryatara in an ordinary form, are the guide for us pitiful, transmigrating beings left guideless. How kind you are. May all your wishes be instantly fulfilled, and may your life be stable until samsara ends. O mighty one, you who destroy all the enemy of delusions, who reveal the Dharma of scripture and realizations, spreading it in the mental continuum of transmigrating beings, thereby eliminating the 2 obscurations, including their imprints. How kind you are. May all your wishes be instantly fulfilled, and may your life be stable until samsara ends. By the blessings of the Guru, the deity and the Dharma protectors, and unbetraying actions and their results, as well as the truth of ultimate reality, in all my lifetimes may I only please and never displease for even 1 second the Guru, and may all the vital points of my prayers be fulfilled. Only because it's a special day that started already over there in India. Okay, thanks a lot everyone. Lots of love, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning if you're doing precepts with Venerable Rabina. And then what we'll do tomorrow in meditation is Shakyamuni Buddha, because it's that kind of a day. So if you'd like to come along and do Shakyamuni Buddha with us in the morning, please, you're very welcome. Okay, lots of love everybody. Good night, sleep well.
Thank you, Venerable.